And I saw a Lamb standing on Mount Sion, and with him 144,000, and the name of his Father was written upon them. Then I heard a voice from the heavens, like the noise of great waters, and like the sound of great voices. And the voice which I heard was like the sound of a lyre. And they were singing like a new song before the throne and before the 4 living creatures and the elders. And no one was able to learn this song except these 144,000 whom he bought from the earth. And these are they who did not sin with woman, and they are like virgins, and go after the Lamb, and they are bought as firstfruits of Yud-He-Waw-He and the Lamb. And there is no deceit in their spirit, and they are blameless before the throne of Yud-He-Waw-He. And I saw great signs and wonders in the heavens, for 7 messengers came, and they had the 7 last plagues, for by them the burning anger of Yud-He-Waw-He is completed. And I saw something like a sea of glass mixed with fire, and those who overcame the animal and his carved image stood next to the sea of glass, and they had lyres of Yud-He-Waw-He. And they sang the song of Moshe and the song of the Lamb, and said, Great are the works of Yud-He-Waw-He, Elohei ha-Tsevaot. Righteous and truth are your ways, O King of kings. And who will not fear you and give praise to your name? For you alone are Kadosh. Truly, all the nations will come and bow down before you, for your judgments are revealed. And after this I saw that the ark of the covenant was opened in the heavens. Then the 7 messengers who had the 7 plagues went out, clothed in white clothes, and a girdle of gold was on their loins. Then one of the 4 living creatures gave the 7 messengers 7 bowls of gold, full of the fury of Yud-He-Waw-He, who lives from everlasting and unto everlasting. And the house of prayer was filled with smoke, and the glory of Yud-He-Waw-He filled the tabernacle. And no one was able to go into it until the 7 plagues of the 7 messengers was finished. Then I saw a messenger fly in the midst of the heavens, and he had one good news to make known to those who dwell on the earth, and to all the peoples and nations. And he said with a great voice, Fear Yud-He-Waw-He, and do your prayer to him, for the judgment day has come, and do prayer to him who created the heavens and the earth and the sea and the fountains. And after this voice another messenger came and cried out, Fallen, fallen has Bavel, the great city, for she corrupted all the peoples with the wine of her fornication. And after this, the 3rd messenger came and said with a great voice, If one does his prayer to the carved image and to the animal, and take the sign on his hand or on his forehead, this one will drink of the wine of the fury of Yud-He-Waw-He, which is the cup of fury, and he will be punished with fire and brimstone before his set-apart messengers and the Lamb. And the smoke of their punishment will go up from everlasting and unto everlasting. And they will not have rest, day or night, those who took the sign and prayed to the carved image. Then I heard a voice from the house of prayer, and it said to the 7 messengers, "Go and pour out the bowls on the earth, the fury of Yud-He-Wah-He." So the first went and poured out his bowl on the earth, and it became boils, breaking out on the men who had the sign of the animal and prayed to his carved image. Then the second messenger poured out his bowl on the sea, and it was blood like that of a dead one, and all that was in the sea died. Then the third poured out his bowl on the fountains of water, and it was blood. Then I heard that the messenger said, "Yud-He-Wah-He the righteous, who was and is and will be, you are Kadosh, that you gave this judgment, for they have shed the blood of the set apart ones and the prophets like waters, and you gave them blood to drink, for they are worthy of this." Then I heard another messenger who spoke from inside the temple, "Yes, Elohai Ha-Tsevaot, your judgments are righteous." Then the fourth poured out his bowl on the sun, and it was given to it to make heat for man. Then men had much heat, and they cursed Yud-He-Wah-He because of these plagues, but they did not do repentance to give him glory. Then the fifth poured out his bowl on the throne of the animal, and it was darkened, and they bit their tongues because of the pain. Then the sixth poured out his bowl on the river Parat, and the river dried up to be a path for the kings who were at the rising of the sun. And I saw that there came forth from the mouth of the dragon, and from the mouth of the animal, and from the mouth of the false prophet, 3 unclean creeping things like frogs. And these are the spirits of Satan, doing signs and wonders. And they go to the kings of the earth and to all the world, to gather them to war for the day of Yud-He-Wah-He, the mighty. Look, I will come like a thief, and blessed are those who do not sleep, but keeps himself, that he does not walk naked without clothes, that his nakedness be not uncovered. And he gathered them to a place which is called in the Hebrew tongue Har Magidon. Here is the hope of the set apart ones, and here are those who do the commandments of Yud-He-Wah-He and believe in Yeshua. And I heard a voice from the heavens saying to me, "Write, blessed are they who die on account of the sanctification of Yud-He-Wah-He from now on, and what the Ruach says is true, that they rest from their works, for their works follow after them." Then I saw a bright cloud, and on it there sat one with the appearance of a man, and on his head was a crown of gold, and in his hand was a sickle. And another messenger came from the house of prayer, and cried with a loud voice to him who sat on the cloud, "Thrust with your sickle and harvest, for the time of the harvest has come." Then he who sat on the cloud thrust with his sickle and harvested. Then the seventh poured out his bowl in the air, and there came a voice from the throne and said, "This is over." And there were voices and thunders and lightnings and an earthquake, which had never happened before. And of the great city was made 3 parts, and the cities of the nations fell. And the great city Bavel was remembered before Yud-He-Wah-He, to give her the cup with the wine of his burning anger. and all the mountains and hills fled, and were seen no more. And great hail fell on man from the heavens, and they blasphemed Yud-He-Wah-He because of the plague of the hail. And another messenger came to the heavens, and in his hand was a sickle. Then another messenger went out from the altar, and he had control over the fire, and he cried out with a loud voice to him who had the sickle, and said, "Thrust with your sickle, and harvest the grapes of the earth, for its fruits are ripe." So the messenger thrust with his sickle, and harvested the grapes of the earth, and cast them into the great winepress of the fury of Yud-He-Wah-He. And the winepress was outside the city, and the blood of the winepress went up to the bridle of the horses, a way of 1,600 stretches of field.